Be honest. How many times have you promised God you'd never do that sin again? And how many times did you fall right back into it? Because tonight, I need to tell you something terrifying. Your greatest fear might not be the sin itself. What if I'm not actually saved? That thought has haunted you more than the sin itself. Not the temptation, not the failure, the fear, the terrifying possibility that maybe real Christians don't struggle like this. Maybe real believers don't keep crawling back to the same chains they swore they broke. You prayed, you cried, you promised God you would never do it again. And for a moment, you believed yourself. But then the night came, the urge came, the weakness came. And now here you are again, hiding, ashamed, exhausted, wondering if heaven is finally tired of hearing the same apology from your lips. You hate what you do, but somehow you keep doing it. And the worst part is not even the sin anymore. It's the numbness afterward, the silence, the way your heart doesn't break like it used to. You used to cry after falling. Now you just stare at the ceiling feeling empty. You wonder if your conscience is dying. You worship on Sunday while secretly battling things nobody knows about on Monday. You lift your hands in church, but deep down, there's a voice whispering, "You're a hypocrite." And maybe that voice has gotten louder lately. Maybe you've started believing it. But listen carefully. The fact that you hate your sin is evidence that something inside you is still alive. Spiritually dead people do not fight their darkness. They settle into it. They justify it. They protect it. A dead corpse floats with the current. It never struggles against the river. Only something alive fights to swim upstream. And maybe you're tired because you've been fighting for so long. Maybe you feel weak because this war has drained you. But exhaustion is not proof that God abandoned you. Sometimes exhaustion is proof that the battle is real. The enemy wants you isolated because isolation turns struggle into hopelessness. He wants you believing you are uniquely broken, that nobody else fights like this, that everyone around you has conquered and accepts you. But Scripture destroys that lie. Even Paul, the man God used to write much of the New Testament, confessed something shocking in Romans 7. He said, "I do not do the good I want to do, but the evil I do not want to do, this I keep on doing." Present tense. Not "I used to." He said, "I do." The Apostle Paul understood the agony of wanting holiness while still dragging around human weakness. Your struggle does not automatically mean you are fake. The war inside you may actually be evidence that the Holy Spirit is refusing to let sin become comfortable. Before Christ, sin felt normal. Now it feels like poison. Before Christ, you ran toward darkness without resistance. Now there's grief, conviction, frustration, war. And yes, sometimes you lose battles. But there is a difference between someone who falls into sin and someone who builds a home there. One hates the chains while the other decorates them. Here's where many believers get trapped. They become obsessed with managing sin instead of feeding their love for God. Every day becomes, don't do this, don't think that, don't click this, don't feel that. And suddenly Christianity feels like spiritual survival mode. But whatever consumes your focus eventually consumes your mind. If all you do is stare at temptation, temptation becomes magnified. You cannot defeat darkness by obsessing over darkness. You overcome darkness by turning on a greater light. You don't defeat lust simply by hating lust. You overcome it by learning to love Jesus more deeply than the temporary pleasure. You don't break free from sin by white-knuckling your way through temptation. You break free by realizing your soul was created for something infinitely greater than what's in offers. The heart always follows its greatest treasure. And right now, maybe your greatest problem is not that you love sin too much. Maybe it's that you haven't fully realized how deeply Christ loves you. Because shame changes the way you approach God. Instead of running to Him, you hide from Him. You skip prayer because you feel dirty. You avoid worship because guilt tells you to stay back. You punish yourself emotionally as if your suffering can somehow repay your failure. But that is not humility. That is pride disguised as shame. You are acting like Jesus' sacrifice covered every sin except this one, as if His blood was enough for others, but not enough for you. Listen carefully. You cannot add to a finished cross. The enemy loves when shame keeps you silent because sin grows best in darkness. But Jesus never walked away from bruised people. Scripture says a bruised reed he will not break, and a smoldering wick he will not snuff out. That means when your flame is barely alive, when your faith feels weak, when you feel one temptation away from collapsing, Jesus does not stomp out what little hope remains. He protects it. He covers it with mercy. He breathes on dying embers until they burn again. So, what do you do when you fail tonight? What do you do when temptation hits again tomorrow? Run to God immediately. Not after 3 clean days. Not after you fix yourself. Right then, covered in weakness, covered in failure, covered in regret. The cross was never meant for perfect people. Holiness is not the absence of struggle. Holiness is refusing to stop getting back up. Progress is still progress, even if you limp forward. And maybe you don't realize it yet, but you are not who you used to be. The fact that you're still fighting proves that something inside you refuses to surrender. And hear this before you go. God is not staring at you with disgust every time you fall. The Father is not standing over you waiting to condemn you. He sees the tears nobody else sees. He sees the war in your mind. He sees the exhaustion. He sees your hand reaching upward after every failure. Ask him to pull you back to your feet one more time. And every single time, his mercy answers. So if you feel weak, if you feel ashamed, if you feel trapped in a battle you're terrified you may never win, don't believe the lie that it's over for you. The very fact that this hurts is proof your heart is still fighting. Dead souls don't wage war against sin. Dead souls surrender. But you are still resisting, still praying, still reaching, still crawling back to God even after every fall. So get back up again. Pray again. Worship again. Fight again. Not because your strength is enough, but because his grace still is.